Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the 144th Commencement Ceremony for Ames High School. Please remain standing for the singing of the National Anthem, sung today by Elizabeth Jens. Before we begin, I would like to ask all Ames High School students who are planning to enter the military or plan to enter the military academies to please come forward to be recognized.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Let me go back 2 chairs. Wasn't that simply beautiful? Thank you, Elizabeth. There are many people that help make this ceremony possible. I would like to recognize those people at this time. The Ames School Board members who give their time to make tough decisions that help guide the educational needs to our students. Thank you. Kathy Packer, Kathy Steenhagen, who are the major organizers of graduation. Kathy Packer has decided to leave us for something called retirement. We wish her well in her new endeavor. The guidance team, comprised of John Burke, Julie Bryant, Allison DeBlasi, and Sonia Hayes, for helping our seniors cross the finish line, helping them with graduation rehearsals and graduation ceremonies today. The music department, comprised of Chris Ewan, Andrew Buttermore, Nick Gardner, and Joe Strong, providing music for today, and by the way, one of the top music programs in the state of Iowa. The associate principals, Matt Smith, Nicole Patton, Kenneth Damron, for the hard work they have done this year and their assistance to the senior class. Our athletic director, Lyle Fetters, for the work he has done with the senior class. Dr. Hawkins, for working hard to provide the needed resources and personnel to the high school this year. Jeff has always made himself available to assist the high school, and his help has been much appreciated. Dr. Vincent, who has guided our schools this year. Our paths have crossed professionally numerous times during our careers. On all occasions, Paula has provided the steady hand of leadership needed for the role. There are a considerable number of teachers here this afternoon helping the seniors celebrate their graduation. It is not a requirement for these individuals to be present. They are dedicated professionals that want to be present to see their students graduate. Any teacher who has had the opportunity to work with this class, please stand to be recognized at this time. Any in the crowd as well. Seniors, you did not arrive at this point without support from your family. Parents, guardians, grandparents, you please stand to be recognized by the senior class. Senior class, let's turn around and give them a standing ovation. Parents, grandparents, thank you, thank you. Wave at your parents and grandparents. Okay, thank you. Now you may be seated. The reason for the special recognition of these people today is because your teachers, coaches, directors, and most importantly, your parents have been your mentors and the major influencers in your life to this date. Graduation is a milestone because you will leave your mentors and the people who have heavily influenced your life during the past decade to establish yourself in a whole new environment. Although Ames High School is probably one of the best preparatory schools in the nation, some of you may not initially reach the goals that you have set for yourself after high school. Life after high school can be a humbling event. If you're an academic, you may not be the smartest person in the room in college anymore. If you're an athlete, you may learn that there are better players than you, and you will be in a supporting role rather than a starter. If you are going to the military, you may discover that the regimen is too rigid and more difficult than what you had imagined. Today, I wish to share my experience right after high school. Oddly enough, it's evenly 50 years ago, exactly to this date, I was sitting today where you guys are sitting right now for your diploma. To set the context of the era of 1972, there was quite a few things happening today. Miss Patton wanted me to mention that she was born that year, so. Other things that happened during that time. The structure that you're sitting in today was built in 1971. The first men's basketball team played their first competition at Hilton during the 71-72 season. And by the way, I sat in section 232 up at the top, and it's been 50 years for me to get down to get a chair on the main floor. Title IX was enacted into law in 1972, giving women the same opportunities as men to compete in sports. Big thing for you guys now, but that didn't happen before 1972. Iowa State started athletic programs for women in basketball, volleyball, track and field, swimming, golf, cross country, and with the Big 8 competition beginning in 1973. The nation was engulfed in the Vietnam War. It was not unusual for classes to be canceled or interrupted because of war protests on campus. During these turbulent times, my role models or influencers were my parents, school teachers, and coaches. My teachers and coaches were essential people in my life. All had come from outside places, all around the Midwest, all were college educated, and all seemed to take an interest in just about everyone in school. There were those special teachers who provided me with inspiration, and coaches who motivated me to work and provide me with such needed discipline that apparently I needed quite a bit during that time. With the support of my family, I was confident that I was well prepared for college with very specific goals to achieve. Armed with optimism, I headed to college. Mike Tyson once said, "Everybody has a plan until you get punched in the mouth." College was that punch in the mouth for me. It was much more difficult than I expected. I could share the details of my humbling experiences, but it would be succinct to say that my first year at Iowa State was a punch in the mouth. That was certainly put a bend in the straight line I had drawn towards my goals. So what was the key to surviving difficulty, failure, and hardship? The key was going back to those who supported me, the people who had influenced my life, remembering not only their advice, but remembering how they lived their lives, shared their experiences, and overcame personal hardships. In his recently published biography entitled Can't Hurt Me, David Goggins talks about his terrible family life with his father, being raised by a single mother, failure to complete a promising high school basketball career, not having the ability to read at the 5th grade level upon graduation, multiple job losses, and eventual body weight of over 300 pounds on his 6'2" structure. In spite of overwhelming challenges, David Goggins found a way to lose over 120 pounds, pass the ASVAB test, allowing him to enter the military, and eventually becoming a member of the Basic Underwater Demolition Squad SEAL team called BUDS, an elite branch of the Navy SEALs, and later one of the top recruiters for the Navy. David attributes his success to his metaphoric cookie jar. Like treats from his mother's cookie jar, David labeled all his achievements and awards as cookies in a cookies jar. In absolute tough times during SEAL training, where nearly 80% of the candidates drop out, he would go back to his cookie jar and remember the positive things in his life, awards he had won, people who had helped him along the way, his role models, and the strength of his mother. So, as I close, my advice to you is to fill your cookie jar with positive achievements that you experienced in high school, the critical interactions you've had with your teachers, directors, friends, and family members. When times get tough, get out those memories. Reach out to people in your cookie jar and remember what you've already achieved in life. Borrowing from a phrase from a song about New York, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Ames High has prepared you well. Thank you and good luck.
Good morning, seniors. It's good to see you. You faced COVID and the many variations of learning. You are resilient. You completed complex tasks, homework, and never gave up on yourself. You are diligent. You supported one another, cared for your friends, practiced acts of kindness, and raised over $25,000 for the Stead Family Children's Hospital. You are compassionate. You came together as a class during football games for cowbell, worked together in clubs, classes, and activities, and surpassed many of your goals. You are collaborative. You found new ways to make the distance between the parking lot and the school building shorter. Scooters. You showcased the talents during coffee house, and we all enjoyed the chalk walks at the beginning and the end of the year. You are creative. You fought through some difficult times, you worked hard, and you never gave up on achieving your goals. You are persistent. These are the words that I would use to describe you, the class of 2022. A graduation ceremony is a special occasion, a culmination of years of hard work, goals attained, and the acknowledgement of your success achieved. It is only fitting that we commemorate the road you have traveled to get to this point. You have had quite the journey. You have encountered trials and tribulations, but have become stronger because of them. You've experienced exceptional moments, magical moments, and created some amazing memories. Henry Ford wisely said, "Coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, and working together is a success." As you look back over the past 4 years, you have had a beginning, you have definitely come together as a class, and in the end, you have found your success. We are all very proud of you and excited to see you succeed. Of course, you have to decide what success means to you. Money, education, the perfect job, a spouse, children, traveling. I believe that success is not measured by how much others are impressed by our lives, but rather by how they are impacted by our lives. So to live an impactful life, I'm going to leave you with 5 life lessons. Pay attention to the little things. The truth is, there's no such thing as a little thing. Every belief, attitude, and choice has a significance that will often be hidden from you in the moment. Little things amazingly produce a powerful effect. Take all the little things that you've done in your high school career. They are what has gotten you here today. The little things you do in your relationships create even deeper relationships. Pay attention to the little things because you will realize how much the little things have shaped your life one day. Own your failures. It's not if you fail, but when. Too many of us live trying to avoid failure. When it does happen, we refuse to own it because we're afraid it's going to define us. A failure does not define who we are. It defines what we've learned. The greatest learning comes from our mistakes. I've often told students, and maybe even a few of you, I don't judge you on what you did. I will judge you on what you do with the learning after your mistake. To fail is just your first attempt in learning. Share your successes. I'm not saying go and share your success on social media. When you find your success, thank people who got you here. You see this during sporting events when the players point to the person who made the assist or threw the pass that resulted in a touchdown. A more relatable example is pointing to the people in your life and acknowledging their influence that helped you to become the person, student, and friend you are today. It's knowing that you are at this point in your journey because of the many people who have helped you get there. Share your success with them. Take time to thank them for their impact on your successes. How you succeed and share your success says a lot about your character. Are you hungry? No, I'm not talking about going to Pancheros or Chick-fil-A after graduation. What are you passionate about? What wakes you up in the morning? I was once told that it will never feel like work if you find something you love to do. One of the most common ways we try to pursue our passion is to chase what gives us the most joy or what is the most fun. I'm going to challenge you. Focus on what you care about, not what's fun. Passion is not something you find, but rather something you develop. Passion powers our hard work, determination, and creativity, and makes our accomplishments possible. It sustains you through the difficult times. It is the fuel that inspires and drives you towards specific goals, no matter how unlikely or complicated they might be. It generates the enthusiasm needed to complete your biggest obstacles and overcome some of your most difficult challenges. It inspires loyalty, teamwork, hard work, and success. And finally, never underestimate the power of your words. It's amazing what one kind word can do. Your words have the power to lift people, to help them in challenging times, and introduce them to their potential destinies. When you tell someone, I love you, I'm proud of you, you did great on that project, you're not just being kind, those are words of encouragement. You never know the struggles other people might be going through. Just a few simple words. I believe in you. Nice kicks. Any small compliment can brighten their day or change someone's perspective. It may not seem significant, but it may change the recipient's life. Every encounter can have a purpose. Your words can motivate people to believe in themselves and might be what keeps moving them forward. Letting people know you care does more than you can imagine. The kindness you show and the words you say have power. Power to build people up and encourage them to pursue their dreams. Be unending with your compliments. You can think well of others, but they will never know unless you tell them. You may not have the same building to come to during your reunions, but we will continue to honor tradition while building for the future. You are all going to go out and do amazing and great things. Remember, you are forever and always a little cyclone, and you will always and forever be a part of Ames High history.
you for that lovely music. It is my honor to also welcome you today and thank you for your presence. It's one of the best gifts you can offer to this graduating class. Our speakers this afternoon are Ellie Nussbaum and Emily Pogue. Ellie is the daughter of Michael and Amber Nussbaum and was involved in a number of activities during high school, including Key Club, Dance Marathon, Girls Golf, Chef, Bee Club, and the Central Honey Producers Association. Ellie is a 4-year golf varsity letterer, 2-year Lamp of Knowledge awardee, National Honor Society Honorable Mention awardee, Distinguished Nebraska-Iowa Key Club editor, served as an international trustee on the International Key Club Board, and was the 2020-21 Central Iowa Honey Queen. After graduation, Ellie will attend Iowa State University to major in biology. We also will have a speech from Emily Pogue, daughter of Warren and Moy Pogue. Emily was involved in Science Olympiad, Girls Cross Country, Chef, Ethics Bowl, and World Food Prize Institutes. Emily is a 2021 Borlaug Scholar, 4-year Science Olympiad State Champion team member, National Merit Finalist, 3-year Girls Cross Country Varsity Letterer, and a 3-year CIML Lamp of Knowledge awardee. After graduation, Emily will attend Yale University to double major in chemistry and economics.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to begin by thanking the teachers, staff, administration, and our families for providing us with support to reach this day. It has been nothing short of a challenge as we have faced obstacles that are quite honestly hard to believe happened. Nonetheless, we are here celebrating our great accomplishments, and to anyone who doesn't consider this a great accomplishment, I would respectfully disagree, as we have had quite a bit to endure alongside our education. 4 different principals, a 10-minute walk from the parking lot just to reach the school, and let me tell you, in the dead of winter, that 10 minutes feels like an eternity. And online, in-person, and hybrid learning, to name a few. As we look into our future, I would like to attempt to offer you all some advice I have learned through this time. Most of you know, I began my time here as the new girl freshman year. However, what most of you do not know is that this was not something that my parents made me do. I never moved here, and no one told me I had to come here. I chose Ames High. I did not feel as though my life at the time was fulfilling or that I would be able to become the best possible version of myself where I was at. I knew that somewhere there had to be more. I will admit, I was terrified on that first day, not only because I was a freshman, but because I had one friend here, and when I say friend, I mean over Snapchat. Now, 4 years later, I consider that terrifying decision the best one I've ever made. It's because that single choice led me to opportunities I could have never imagined. It was not only the things that resulted from going to Ames High that made it so memorable, but the spirit living within the halls. I remember the buzz as I entered the lunchroom during the first club fair. I saw hundreds of students gathered around booths. Each one had people grabbing at anyone passing to entice them into their club. I was amazed at the passion they had for such a diverse range of topics and their readiness to educate their community. Seeing so many students who genuinely cared about their education was new to me. It did not end here. At the first coffee house, I witnessed a girl shaking with nerves as she stood alone on a stage preparing to sing. When the crowd noticed just how nervous she was, they began cheering and yelling words of encouragement. The support surged from the audience, showing her she was anything but alone, as they were just as excited to be there as she was. This is a prime example of the way in which Ames High students never fail to support their fellow classmates. At my first football game, I experienced my first cowbell, which I had no idea existed, or that the band nerds could possibly be the cool kids. Even though I was as far away from the front row as you could be, the energy pulsing through every student was unforgettable. These are just a few of the things that make Ames High so special. Our traditions have brought us together and have shaped this incredible experience we know as high school. Taking on challenging and terrifying opportunities is crucial to our personal growth. And with this comes something even more powerful, such as the chance to embrace each change and choose to live with love. As you know, in 2019, we lost Claire Rouse, the older sister of our classmate Ella. Claire was an upperclassman, but she was someone I considered a dear friend. Although I had not known her for long, I had the privilege of seeing how she treated every person she met with pure kindness. She lived her life giving to those around her, and I believe this is because she knew how it felt when no one did the same for her. After we lost Claire, we began spreading the message to love big, and I'm here again to share this with each of you. We have the greatest opportunity in front of us. Every day, you'll be given the chance to leave a positive impact on someone. When I moved here, I encountered some very mean people that were simply acting out of hate. But on the contrary, I remember when Evan Brecky saw me looking lost and asked me to sit with her at a football game. When Avery Souza would start conversations with me and ask about my day. And when Jason Vernon saw me in Mr. O's World Studies without a partner and asked me to join his group. I remember all of you. And I want this to serve as a reminder, I am not the only one who will remember. No matter what your plans are, you have the ability to make your life anything you want it to be. No one is stopping you. Let go of the excuses and embrace the terrifying parts of life. This is your time to find your passion, to find what makes you hopeful, and to find what makes you love big. Class of 2022, I challenge you to seek out those terrifying opportunities, to give love, and to find love. Thank you.
Before I begin, I would like to welcome the staff, family, and friends that have come to watch us graduate today. Your steadfast support throughout each of our high school journeys has made it possible for us to be here at the Hilton Coliseum right now, and for that, I thank you. As a bit of a candid moment here, when I first sat down to write this speech, I was honestly very uncertain about how it would play out. I think it is no exaggeration to say that the Ames High School class of 2022 has experienced some of the most dynamic times of our lives between our freshman and senior years, and I scrapped a lot of the lines that just felt like they described one year over the other. It was during a late-night cramming session that I realized that, though our environment was not a constant, our class certainly was, and it was time to describe how we rooted ourselves in the stream. There are the little things, of course, those small trickles of water, like exchanging our MacBooks for Chromebooks in the middle of high school, or shifting from a 1-8 schedule to block this year. These were the blips in our high school continuum. But we, the class of 2022, relearned how to use Chrome OS, adding even block and odd block to our vocabulary when it became necessary. We adapted. Then, there were the bigger things, the whirlpools in our lives, large administrative changes from year to year, and an almost cyclical rotation of administrative staff, teachers, and policies themselves. But we, the class of 2022, familiarized ourselves with these new people and policies, befriending those we could, and learning how to work within the constantly shifting landscape of Ames High School bureaucratic procedure. We adapted. Finally, there was the storm that was the COVID-19 pandemic. Yes, it's a little bit overused at this point, but there is no denying that the impact it had on our sophomore, junior, and senior years is unlike anything that has been seen by Ames High within the past century. Bustling hallways of students and chattering classes were replaced by silence for almost a year and a half of what was meant to be our high school years. The impacts of online classes and a new normal reverberating even today. Yet we, the class of 2022, found alternate ways to have fun, to study, and to train. We adapted. However, the class of 2022 did not simply stop at adapting to these new environments that were thrown at us. We thrived, our roots spreading as we evolved into more mature versions of ourselves because of and in spite of these changes. From athletics, where members of our class can proudly point to involvement in numerous swimming, basketball, cheer, track, and cross-country awards, to academics and the arts, where exceptional performance in subjects ranging from robotics and science to music, speech, and debate has been consistently manifest. We are a class which can take what we are given and return with more. I am so proud of the diverse array of talent that we, as the Ames High School class of 2022, have been able to develop, even with all of the changes we have experienced. And I hope that my classmates can feel the same way. Now, I know that our time together may be coming to a close, but remember, our stories have just begun. Regardless of whether your next step is college, the workforce, trade school, the military forces, or a gap year, my challenge to you is to continue to adapt to and thrive in the waters that surround you. We will all have our own personal and external challenges to face, but we also have our entire futures to look forward to. And it is up to us, the class of 2022, to continue to pursue our passions in the environments that shape us so that we may one day shape the world itself. Congratulations, class of 2022.
Welcome, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sabrina Shields-Cook, and I have the pleasure of congratulating our class of 2022 on behalf of the Board of Education. 26 years ago, almost to the day, I was sitting in those seats where you are sitting right now as a member of the graduating class of Ames High, class of 1996. And if you had told me then that I would be up here giving an address to the class of 2022, I never would have believed you. So it just goes to show that you never know what path your life will take, and also you never know when the public speaking skills that you learned in 9th grade English might come in handy. Graduation is a bittersweet experience. You're saying goodbye to the people and places that have played such important roles in your lives, while at the same time being excited, though maybe a little uncertain about what the future will bring. For many of you, high school has been a time filled with friends and memories you'll cherish for the rest of your lives. For others, that may not have been your experience. But all of you have made it, you are here, and you are ready to embark on your next adventure. Whatever your experience in high school has been, I want all of you to know that there's a big, wide world out there. No matter what path you choose next, whether you're entering the workforce, going to college, joining the military, traveling, or planning your own adventure, I know that all of you will find your place and your people. If I could give you one piece of advice, it would be this: be authentically you. Don't worry about what other people think, because your life isn't theirs, it's yours. To share one of my favorite quotes by Ellen DeGeneres, find out who you are and be that person. That's what your soul was put on this earth to be. Find that truth, live that truth, and everything else will come. To the parents and family members of our graduates, we want to thank you for supporting and cheering on your students, both this year and throughout their lives. To our administrators, teachers, and staff, thank you for all your hard work helping our graduates navigate the past 4 years and create memories along the way. We are so grateful to have you as part of the Ames Community School District. And to our Ames High class of 2022, you made it. We are so proud of you. Today marks a new beginning for all of you, and we can't wait to see what you do next. Congratulations.
Good afternoon. It is my honor to present the graduates with distinction. Graduates with distinction have shown academic excellence and dedication by maintaining a 3.8 or higher GPA throughout high school. Graduates, please stand and remain standing when your name is read. Audience, please hold your applause until all students have been recognized. Jennifer On, Basmala Aldamak, Ike Alexander, Kalia Alexa, Briley Anderson, Lauren Anderson, Ling Bai, Bryce Beerson, Rachel Bennett, Hallie Bernard, Evan Brecky, Abigail Browse, Kiala Brewer, Lola Campbell, Yandu Chan, Yuyang Chen, Ava Chopsky, Diana Cordoba, Parad Deba, Nay Dasunayaku, Madison Delashmet, Ava Diedrichs, Julia Devine, Megan Donald, Tucker Drury, Carly Evans, Mackenzie Fleming, Paige Flory, Elizabeth Jens, Eddie Gong, Gerald Hahn, Matthew Hare, Genevieve Helfer, Morgan Higgins, Sam Hopkins, Kai Johnson, Ainsley Jurgens, Emily Kaminsky, Samuel Kellen, Michaela Cloth, Eva Kumsher, Michaela Lane, Jushan Lee, Taman Lipsy, Pedro Lorero, Caroline Mayfield, Sophia Mamakos, Suvani Manimaran, Hamza Maksoud, Catherine Martin, Ulysses Medina, Miriam Mkhitaryan, Mario Napolitano, Anna Wynn, Oscar Neeson, Madison Panconen, Shrey Patel, Derek Pang, Carter Peterson, Emily Pogue, Varun Prasanna, Suya Q, Olivia Reed, Preksha Sarda, Elena Schrader, Lorna Schukert, Hannah Sheldon, Morgan Shimonik, Haley Sybil, Julia Silman, Levi Sneller, Ella Stagg, Jacob Stevens, Lane Sullivan, Andrew Sullivan, Avery Souza, Rishab Swami, Mia Taylor, Kaylin Thompson, Warren Wellington, Brett Weiniger, and Jacob Zing. Please recognize these graduates with distinction. Graduates with distinction, you may be seated. At this time, we are now ready to award diplomas to the class of 2022.
Alex Miguel Abbott. Alexis Angelina Aguilar. Jennifer Donby On. Basmala Mohammed Hussein Aldamak. Isaac Chukura Alexander. Kalia Isabella Alexi. Leola Quinn Almquist. Benjamin James Amador. Ava Hamilton Anderson. Briley Joe Anderson. Lauren May Anderson. Jamie Tyler Andren. Isabel Eleanor Andriotti. David Michael Andrews. Sarah Irina Jane Andrews. Rowan Bella Luna Elizabeth Archimede. Odin Josue Argueta. Abdulye Ba. Maxwell John Bading. Ling Bai. William Richard Baker. Benjamin Frederick Bappy. Armando Barajas. Bryce Leela Beerson. Rachel Laureen Bennett. Hallie Marie Bernard. Andrew Michael Besh. Evan Michael Bisor Detlefs. Jonathan David Beverly Jr. Grace Ethel Marie Bollifer. Evan Bay Brecky. Joseph Allen Brandenburg. Charles Henry Brandon. Abigail Joy Browse. Kiila Vivian Brewer. Tayshawn Iman Brooks. Daniel Jude Brum. Francesca Ann Burke-Venz. Alexander James Buttermore. Jacob Martin Calicott. Lola Marie Campbell. Trevor Nathaniel Cannon. Kara Caraher. Alexandria May Carlson. Joshua Cole Cassidy. Carter Jalen Chambers. Nyandu Thon Chan. Yu Yang Chen. Ava Rose Chopsky. Addison K. Criswell. Samantha Jane Chrisweiser. Nathan Charles Church. Kyler David Clark. Caitlin Bell Clodier. Janaya Nate Simone Collins. Avery Noel Connor. Cassandra Cook. William Frederick Copley. Diana Sofia Cordoba. Cademan Jonah Crawford. Gunnar Truman Crouch. Hirad Dabug. Nathaka Sean Dasanayaka. Ayuan Lual Dow. Madison Cora DeLashmut. Nero Etienne Deng. Ava Joanne Diedrichs. Joshua Caleb Dietrich. Genesee Rose Diggins Kennedy. Amaryasia Yasmin Diggs. Christian Wyatt Dittman. Julia Ann Devine. Mizan Awaka Desta Deliso. Megan Ann Donald. Mason Eugene Downs. Dana Charlize Drobny. Tucker J. Drury.
Osmar Danilo Duarte. Roberto Michael Dubio. Declan Sophia Page Duchesne. Charles Nelson Durkis. Andrew Logan Eddy. Clayton Michael Elbert. Carly Rose Evans. Aiden Andrew Evers. Chloe Belle Foss. Shaylee Ann Faferlick. Shamajay J. Farrell. Briar Allen Fitz. Joseph Carl Flannery. Mackenzie Lynn Fleming. Paige Dorothea Flory. Zoe Marie Fowler. Jaden Michael Fuqua. Cade Eric Garr. Claire Olivia Galvin. Anika M. Garcia. Marin Elizabeth Gaunt. Benjamin Gerald Janice. Elizabeth Michaela Jens. Eddie Gong. Hunter James Gorman. Deshay Ashanti Cherie Green. Evan Victor Gray. Giuliani Michael Gutierrez. Abby Lynn Halla. Nicholas Stephen Haley. Elaine Christine Hall. Gerald Z. Hone. Arayli Hansen. William Matthew Hansen. Zachary Jared Hansen. Quinn Alice Harbison. Bruce Harbor. Jemiah Ananda Harris. Will Renee Hatcher. Isabella Sophia Havman. Matthew Earhart Hare. Benjamin G. Heinrich. Joseph R. Heinrich. Genevieve Ann Helfer. Cody Helton. Morgan Elizabeth Higgins. Adam Gregory Hillier. Karsten Matthew Holm. Tanaya Demetria Holmes. Sam Allen Hopkins. Trent Thomas Hustet. Sarah Jordan Imhoff. DeAndre Joseph Isaac. Carvan Isaiah Jackman. Cameron Lynn Jacobson. Kanaya Angel Anise James. Kai Jordan Johnson. Carson Ronald Jones. Owen Matthew Jones. Tanaya Gwendolyn Jones. Ainsley Renee Jurgens. Emily Margaret Kaminsky. Atia Mangong Kier. Samuel Curtis Keenan. Samuel Howard Kellen. Haley Kendall. Jordan Elaine Cloth. Michaela Lee Cloth. Alexa Marie Kapaska. Della Sri Kumbir. Eva Grace Kumsher. Travion Chantez LeBeau. Emma Eileen LaFleur. Gabriel William LaFleur. Michaela Nicole Lane. Daniel Alexander Lebedev. Brianna Jo Ledvina. Jaden M. Legree. Sadie Evgenia Linkaitis. Jashawn Lee.
C.E. Lin. Griffith Zachary Linder. Taman Robert Lipsy. Pharaoh Donavi Ida Bradford Lloyd. Ariana Marie Sheena Lopez. Pedro Lopez de Salarero. Achol Thiek Lual.
We'll wait. Brian Alexander Lubers. Luisa Maria Mercedes Ludis Bedell. Noah Philip Madsen. Carolyn Elizabeth Mayfield. Sophia Aspen Mamakos. Savani Manimaran. Hamza Salam Maksud. Quinn Allen Margret. Annabella Marquez. Catherine Jean Martin. Zane McBroom. Kylie McCormick. Dana McDonald. Darius McDonald. Zachary John McGuire. Benjamin Tay McHenry. Landon Samuel McManus. Andrea Medina. Ulysses Medina. Trevor James Miners. Tate Matthew Minard. Ethan Michael Melby. Lady Clarabelle Mendoza. Dylan Charles Mesher. Olivia Catherine Messerly Metzger. Jacob Oren Metcalf. Benjamin Cole Meyer. Miriam Mkhitaryan. Santiago Rafael Molina. Nicole Lynn Morningstar Shaw. Benjamin Shea Morrison. Sean William Morrison. Avery Kane Hugulan Murphy. Claudia Jean Murphy. Gage Caius Myers. Leon Maitides. Aiden Marshall Naditz. Mario Edward Napolitano. Ian Chevelle Nelson. Anna Trin Wynn. Oscar Conrad Neeson. Mallory Jean Nogel. Natalie Joy Nogel. Jack Lloyd Gano Knott. Ellie Marie Nussbaum. Allison Elizabeth O. Alyssa Ray Olinger. Madison Marie Olila. Onur Onal. Charles Hugh Orngard. Elizabeth Grace Orth. Colin Taylor Ostendorf. Loretta Ann Ostermeyer. Carson Alexander Packer. Angel Cesar Padilla. Madison K. Panconen. Ryan J. Paskach. Shrey Ahmed Patel. Ethan Nathaniel Pathma Precaution. Seth Thomas Peterson. Derek Edward Peng. Danny Alexandria Pepper. Carter James Peterson. Drew Michael Peterson. Corey Deontay Phillips. Tate Gavin Plussel. Emily Mai Pogue. Levi Pugvist. Varun Prasanna. Lucas Matthew Preston. Emily Elaine Pretzer. Suya Q. Jillian Sedona Rains. Gaddis S. Rathel. Alexander Jan Reed. Olivia Marie Reed. Javier Rivas.
Alicia Yanira Rivera Vargas. Carter Keith Robender. Johanna Edith Maria Rutger. Mariela Rosales. Ella Grace Rouse. Noah Michael Ryan. Selena Marie Salas. Yordi Gabrielle Salas Lopez. Ana Gabriela Sanabia. Christina Santana. Carlos Alberto Santos. Pregsha Sarda. Olivia Grace Sassman. Mackenzie Nicole Sayer. Samantha May Shaben. Drew Edward Schindel. Preston Jean Schmalzried. Jackson John Schoaf. Alana Jeanette Schrader. Lorna Elizabeth Schukert. Tyler Marion Schumer. Devin Michael Settle. Andrea Marie Sexton. Naomi Destiny Shaw. Hannah Joy Sheldon. Morgan John Shimonik. Haley Ann Sybil. Julia Christine Silman. Olivia Jane Smalley. Levi David Sneller. Ayman Ibrahim Sobi. Mateo Solorio. Jacob Robert Sorensen. Ella Rose Stagg. Caleb Stevenson. Jacob Quinton Stevens. Jaden Toma Stoner. Bradley James Strotman. Andrew James Sullivan. Lane Cass Sullivan. Avery William Souza. Rishabh Sean Swami. Evan Anthony Simons. Gus Szymańska. Henry Tang. Mia Isabel Taylor. Haley Joe Thomas. Abigail Grace Thompson. Caitlin Jewel Thompson. Isaac Richard Tilley. Phillips Lash Townsend. Aton Tuchin. Emma Elizabeth Tuttle. Reese Van Ryswick. Samuel Ray Van Ryswick. Samuel Timothy Vanderwilt. Jason Michael Vernon. Zen Walden. Jack Harris Wanamaker. Christian Allen Warnick. Landon Jeffrey Watson. Warren Dean Wellington. Brett James Weininger. Grace Ann Worth. Kaylin Marie Whitty. Aiden Patrick Nassif Worth. Austin James Wood. Grant Joseph Woodward. Jacob Kai Jipu Jing. Good job. Ring Yak. Kamal Yavuz. Leah Ann Lonan.
Dr. Vincent, members of the Board of Education, ladies and gentlemen, and honored guests, on behalf of the Ames High School staff and administration, I am proud to announce that these students have completed the requirements of the State of Iowa Department of Education and the Ames Community School District. I am pleased to present to you the class of 2022. At this time, I'd like to have Olivia Sassman and Julia Silman, this year's Student Council co-presidents, come forward and lead their class in the changing of the tassels. Following the changing of the tassels, the Ames High Band will play the loyalty song in honor of the class of 2022. After the completion of the song, anyone who wishes may join the graduates on the floor. Just a reminder, your actual diplomas will be over in the right-hand corner. Make sure you pick those up before you leave.
Graduates, please stand. You may now move your tassels to the left side.